Welcome back to all our attendees. Before I announce our next speaker, please be reminded that the contest is still open. Please do participate and win those prizes. Our next speaker, Mr. Ankit Rajpal, Territory Manager for Oman and Bahrain at Veeam Softwares, speaking on today's topic, DR and backup services supporting the digital enablement. Over to you, Ankit.
Thank you, Melvin. Good afternoon, Oman. I hope everyone's keeping safe and is healthy. Thank you very much for Oman Data Park for giving me the platform to come and talk to you. This is the third of the series roadshow, and it's always been a pleasure to be here. So today I'm going to talk about how disaster recovery and backup capabilities are empowering the digital enablement. Okay. My name is Ankit Rajpal. I'm Territory Manager at Veeam Software for Oman and Bahrain region. I've been in this position for the last 3.5 years. I've been with Veeam for almost 6 years, and I've been associated with Veeam for almost a decade now. So yeah, it's been a long time, and I've seen the journey of Veeam going from a really small startup to all the way to monster we've become. So that's what I'm going to talk about today: how Veeam can help you to empower your digital enablement. So if we talk about the last year, the next screen which you see, if we talk about 2020, what are the things which come into your mind? It's quite obvious, right? It's uncertain, pandemic, unprecedented, challenging, right? So that's pretty much how the entire last year went. And even this year, it's not going as what we expected. We thought the world's going to move over, but it looks like the pandemic is here to stay. So what do? We evolve and we learn to live with it, right? So what are the positives about learning from 2020 and bringing them into 2021? We learned a lot of new things. We transformed the way we do our live our day-to-day lives, and we do our business, most importantly. We transformed the way we connect. Look at this platform, such a beautiful platform through which I'm connecting with everyone in Oman, but still not being there. So that's the way to do business now. No more physical meetings, all teams meeting. I hope the physical ones come back although. and keep growing, right? So of course there are certain verticals which have been hit hard, which are still going to take some time to bounce back and come back to normal. But a lot of other verticals have been growing like anything, right? So we've seen a massive increase in our business as well. So this is the quote which I really like. Because of pandemic, we have seen about 2 years worth of digital transformation in just 2 months. This is a quote by Satya Nadella, Microsoft CEO, which is actually true. When pandemic hit us last year and no one knew what to do, things had to move very quickly into a digital platform, and that's when I saw the most transformation happening. And now it's a way of life, so we have to pretty much every business have to transform themselves, enable themselves to come onto a digital platform. If you're not online, you're outside, you're out of business pretty much. That's how the business is growing nowadays. So we did a survey with a few CEOs, and the responses which we got, 53% of the CEOs say that growth is their number one strategic priority. Like most of the CEOs, business oriented, they want to grow the company. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are, they want to grow. And 75% of those CEOs believe that digital transformation is the number one activity to drive top line revenue growth. So there's no escaping from that. That's the only way we can move on and we can be successful in our business, is transform and take our businesses on a digital platform, right? And that's what our job is as IT people or as technology people. We want to make sure that our business, pretty much nowadays, every company is a software company. Everyone has to have an online presence. If you're not, if your systems are not running in a digital way, you're pretty much out of business, right? So bottom line is digital transformation drives business. And what is stopping digital transformation? So what are some of the roadblocks? Okay, we had to do a lot of things in a very short span of time. But in otherwise, what are the things which actually come up as which become a showstopper, right? So finding the right IT skills and transformating experience, finding the right people. Of course, that's always a problem. Finding the right people who can do the right job. Once you overcome that, their dependencies on legacy systems and technologies. This is the biggest problem. A lot of companies have got a lot of old and legacy systems, which actually slows down the innovation and slows down the next movement of the company into the digital transformation. So dependence on those systems is again slowing down digital transformation. And the two most important resources in the world which can slow or stop you is lack of time and budget, right? So that's always scarce. So we always have to overcome them. And how do we overcome those digital transformation challenges? From Veeam, what we believe in that, if you as a company free yourself from maintaining fragmented legacy systems for data protection, backup, and recovery, your digital transformation journey is going to be much faster. Backup is something which is not production. It is kind of your insurance policy, which only comes into the play when something has gone wrong. And if you spend your daily time, your daily hours in just running backup and thinking about disasters, when are you going to do the production? So you need to actually free up yourself from doing all of that on daily basis and automate it more. And don't spend your time much on the legacy system. Get it modernized. You need to release and reuse trapped data and drive flexibility across all platforms. And I go into an enterprise, I see they have so many different platforms. They have virtualization, physical servers, cloud, hybrid cloud, software as a service, AIS, Solaris, so they have data spread across so many different platforms in an organization, right? Now, what a smart organization would do in order to drive digital transformation, data is your biggest asset, data is the new oil, right? So release that trapped data, reuse it, do DevOps out of it, do some kind of testing, development, so reusing the data becomes a very important factor in your key to success. Very important thing, mitigate risk and reduce IT costs through intelligent automated systems, bringing in automation, bringing in AI into your systems, whether it's backup and disaster recovery environments. It's very important to bring in as much automation, orchestration as you can, so that your IT costs are down, and when things go wrong, you're able to bring them back up to production as soon as possible. So the right way to do is have right plans and automate those systems. At the same time, when your online presence increases, when your business moves more digital, right, your security becomes a big concern. So protecting, having right security is protecting your data, protecting your customer, and protecting your brands, right? We always get news every now and then, this company has been breached, that company has been breached, this company lost this much data, impacted their customers in this way. So, having proper security and having right protection of your data is a very important challenge which you need to overcome to get the digital transformation. So this is where Veeam comes into the play in helping you with your data protection challenges. So the solution which helps you does this is the most trusted provider of backup solutions that deliver cloud data management. The keyword over here is cloud data management. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that in further slides. But let me give you a brief introduction about Veeam now, right? So I've talked about the market trends, what's going on, where we are. Let's talk about Veeam. So Veeam as a company, we are not very young anymore, but I'm used to calling Veeam very young. We were founded in 2006. It was a company started by two guys from a garage in Ohio in the US. And one of the guys was a technical geek, the other guy was actually an entrepreneurial mind. So at that point in time, they came up with something, purpose-built solution for virtualization. So if you rewind your brains 15 years before, you'll realize that the way people are talking about cloud and digital transformation today, everyone was talking about virtualization back then. So Veeam was born in the virtualization era, where we actually came up with our first product for backup of VMware in 2006. Actually, it wasn't the first product, but some free tools which we had for VMware. So that's how the company started. 2 years, we were just seeding the market with some free tools. And in Q1 of 2008, we actually came up with our first commercial product called Veeam Backup and Application for VMware. So that's how the journey started. At that point in time, we were a small team of 15 people working from a garage in Ohio. And here we are today. We have about $1.1 billion in annual revenues, which we are churning. We have about 400,000 plus paid customers. So about 13 years back, we did not have a single paid customer. In a span of 13 years, we acquired 400,000 plus paid customers, which is a massive number of customers acquired versus any of our competitors in the league. 82% of the Fortune 500 and Global 2000 customers are using Veeam in their production data centers. Now, that gives you confidence that we are a true enterprise class product trusted by some of the biggest companies in the world. We got presence over 160 countries. We've got 4,500 employees. And what makes Veeam so successful? It's actually customers like yourselves. who like us, who appreciate us, who give us the feedback that, which direction we should be developing our products and which direction we should steer our R&D. So, and then based on that, we have got a very high net promoter score compared to industry standards. So Veeam's got a whopping 75 on a net promoter score, which is 3.5 times of industry average. Whether it's satisfaction levels, product features, sales effectiveness, likeliness to renew, we pretty much top the chart for everyone. So that's how we come. That's been the journey of Veeam. As of now, we are headquartered in Bar, Switzerland, but we are a truly global company. So those are references around the world, but we care for who are references in country in Oman, right? So on the screen, there are some logos from some of the industries. This is just the tip of the iceberg, what you see. There's a massive install base that we have in Oman. There's a massive install base which Oman Data Park is hosting in their data center and using Veeam to empower their backups and disaster recovery. So that'll give you the confidence that you're trusted by some of the biggest companies in country. And whatever we've been doing has been acknowledged by the industry analysts like Gartner, Forrester, and IDC. We've been leader in all of them. We've been acknowledged by all of them. And this is the Gartner Magic Quadrant for data center backup and recovery solutions, the latest one for 2020, the last year. The 2021 is not out yet. So you can clearly see that Veeam is a leader in that quadrant. I remember 2014 or 15 was the first time that we made it to the quadrant. We were somewhere there in visionaries, and I've seen Veeam climbing up and up year on year, and now we dominate the space by being in the top right corner. So very proud moment for Veeam to be at that position, and we plan to dominate that space. If you see our market revenues, we hold a number 3 worldwide global market share. We hold a number 1 share in market share in EMEA, which is our territory, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So very proud to be in that position. There has to be something absolutely right that we're doing to be here, right? Okay, so coming back to the cloud data management. So what is cloud data management from Veeam side, right? So it's got 5 major pillars. Backup and recovery, it's governance and compliance, orchestration and automation, monitoring and analytics, and cloud mobility. So with all of those 5 pillars embedded into our products, we give you the kind of features which enable you to manage your data across hybrid cloud platforms, whether it's your private cloud on premises, whether it's your public cloud like Microsoft Azure, my colleague talked about before, whether it's AWS, or it's your in-country cloud like Oman Data Park. Veeam's got solution for all of that, and we give you the data mobility across all of that. We give you monitoring across different platforms. We help you orchestrate and automate your data across different platforms. We help you govern your data and meet your compliance. And of course, we do our basic job, which is backup and recovery across all of those platforms, right? So this slide is the most interesting slide. This is how we actually deliver all of our solutions to you. So this is Veeam Availability Platform. Now I'm going to get down to the products and show you which product is designed for what kind of environment and what capabilities and briefs I'm going to talk about in these products, right? So our core product or the heart or the heart of the entire ecosystem is the Veeam Availability Suite. The name suggests Veeam Availability Suite is built up of 2 products, backup and replication, and Veeam One. So backup and replication, as the name suggests, backup DR capabilities, and Veeam One does your monitoring, analytics, automation, visibility, compliance, and all of that stuff. Now, Veeam Availability Suite version 11 is our latest version. We are covering 3 virtualization hypervisors with that, which is VMware vSphere, Microsoft Hyper-V, and Nutanix AHV. And we got our enterprise plugins for Oracle RMAN, SAP HANA, and NAS file shares. So this is the product designed for virtualization. And I believe there are still some people in the audience who believe that Veeam was still only catering to virtualization, but that changed a long time back. And now we have pretty much mastered all different platforms. So yes, we started with virtualization. We dominated the space. We actually made pretty much to a leader quadrant just by being in the doing virtualization, but now we pretty much do anything and everything. So now we got a Veeam agents for Windows and Linux, which takes care of your x86 physical computers, whether it's Windows, Linux running on physical or any of the non-supported hypervisors or any of the clouds where we don't have access to hypervisor. So that takes care of that, again, managing and being reported to Veeam Availability Suite. Veeam agent for AIX and Solaris. So, there are some legacy systems which are there. So Veeam actually had to take a few steps backward to support our customers. And we introduced our agents for AIX and Solaris. So if you have those systems, we got you covered. Now, this is the exciting one, Veeam Backup for AWS. So if you're running your workloads in public cloud, Amazon Web Services, Veeam's got a native cloud-based, snapshot-based product, which is built native snapshot backup products for AWS, which can help you take your data from AWS to S3, S3 to on-premises. The complete mobility is there. So on-prem to cloud, cloud to on-prem, back and forth. Similar capabilities we have for Veeam Backup for Azure. So again, if you're running your data in the public cloud for Azure, we've got you covered. Native cloud-based backup and move your data around cloud, bring it on premises, and vice versa. And we recently added support for Google Cloud Platform. So we got Veeam Backup for Google Cloud Platform, again, native cloud-based backup. All of them is integrated into one solution called Veeam Availability Suite, which is licensed in one license called Veeam Universal License. So it doesn't matter you're a VM, doesn't matter you're a physical, doesn't matter you're a cloud instance, you're running RDS in AWS or whatever it might be. You need one instance to protect one workload, and license is completely flexible. So that gives you a great deal of flexibility and makes you open to change. Whenever you want to change, you can change, no problem. Don't worry about the backups, leave that to us. On top of that, we have our enhanced product for disaster recovery orchestration. This is a VMware only product, which gives you documentation, orchestration capabilities, automated DR failover and failback capabilities for your VMware environments. And our fastest and hottest selling product for backup of the most popular SaaS platform in the world is Veeam Backup for Office 365. Now, a lot of times we assume that we've given backup we have moved our data centers, or we moved our application to Microsoft. Now it's their problem, but it's not. Microsoft is responsible for giving you the uptime. Microsoft is responsible for giving you the service, but the data inside and the access to that data is customer responsibility. So Microsoft recommends that you should be taking your backup with third-party softwares. So that's where Veeam come into the play. We got some of the biggest companies in Oman who are using this product for us, and it works beautifully. And our latest feather to the crown is Carsten K10. This is a company we acquired almost a year back. This is a product specifically designed for Kubernetes and containerized workloads, right? So whether it was my colleague presenting before about Azure Kubernetes, whether it's Kubernetes running an ODP platform, whether it is Kubernetes running on your on-prem OpenShift, Google Anthos, it might be in VMware Tanzu. We got a purpose-built solution for Kubernetes, which works like a charm. It's a beautiful solution. Wherever I present it, people just love this product. So this is going to be integrated into the Veeam Availability Suite as well. We got your containers covered with that. So that is a very brief snapshot of Veeam Availability Platform, which covers your virtualization, physical servers, AIX Solaris, cloud workloads, public, private, disaster recovery orchestrators, SaaS platforms like Office 365, Kubernetes, all of that environment, right? So with that, we pretty much cover all of this up. So last concluding slide, at Veeam, we drive real results. 74% of our customers have witnessed increased staff productivity after deploying, so once you make your transition to Veeam, your productivity goes up. 77% of our customers saw reduced risk in data loss and reduction in downtime. So that's the most important thing, making sure your business is always on, because as you move to digital transformation, keeping your business on is the most important thing, right? So Veeam gives you that the tools to make it happen. 68% of the customers received significant cost saving by reusing data. So there's an absolutely different feature in the engine which Veeam offers you to reuse your data and bring it to absolute more use and productivity. And 45% of our customers experienced reduced risk in audit and compliance failures. So these are real results which will help you drive your digital enablement. And on that note, my presentation is finished. Thank you very much. I would love to take any questions. Thank you very much.
All right, Ankit, thank you very much. So dear attendees, if you all have any questions, please do send it to us and we will pass it on to you, Ankit. And you please do reply to them.
Thank you. Sure.
And attendees, just again, a reminder, we have 4 more speakers to go. So please do attend the contest, answer the questions and win some exciting gifts.